Now, the UAE sovereign wealth funds and companies are increasingly treating India as a co-development partner. They are locking in long-term positions in the sectors likely to define the next decade: AI, food security, and logistics. But before we continue with the rest of the details of our story, here is a very quick reminder for all of you to like, share, subscribe. Yes, we want to defeat that number, which is that 82% of our viewers who are still not subscribed to the channel. It's a war, it's a fight, and your efforts will only help us to, well, go ahead and bring down the enemy, which right now is staring me in the face, and that is 82%. But thank you so much for your kind support. Now, of course, here is what the rest of the details are. Here's actually how that's played out over the last 7 months, and I'm of course talking about the UAE. It started in January when UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan visited India and, alongside Prime Minister Modi, set a target to more than double bilateral trade to $200 billion by 2032. It would be up from the existing $100 billion which the two countries had already hit in fiscal year 2024-25. Now, that very visit also opened the door to UAE sovereign wealth fund participation in India's second infrastructure fund. It saw first Abu Dhabi Bank and DP World both establish operations in Gift City. Then in May, PM Modi traveled to Abu Dhabi, where the UAE announced $5 billion in fresh investment across multiple entities. It includes $3 billion from Emirates NBD into RBL Bank. Then we have $1 billion from International Holding Company into Samman Capital. Most notably is about $1 billion was from the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, which is exploring alongside India's National Infrastructure and Investment Fund. Now, that same visit produced the AI infrastructure piece of this very puzzle. It is actually a partnership between India's CDAC and UAE-based G42 to build an 8 exaflop supercomputing cluster supporting India's AI mission. Now, energy deals followed where ADNOC and India's Strategic Petroleum Reserve signed a collaboration agreement and a long-term LPG supply arrangement, which was also, by the way, finalized with Indian Oil. Now, most recently, at the Investopia Dialogues event in Ahmedabad, Mohammed Al-Lahavi, the Undersecretary of the UAE Ministry of Investment, gave a sense of just how deep this relationship already runs. The UAE now accounts for more than 70% of all GCC investment inflows into India. Nearly 4,000 new Indian companies have joined the Dubai Chamber of Commerce in the first quarter of this year alone. That's quite refreshing to hear. But what is even probably more refreshing is the front page take, and here it is. Now, if we actually strip away the individual deals, 4 sectors keep showing up again and again, and here they are: AI infrastructure, food security and agri-processing, logistics industry, and financial services. Now, there is a push for a two-way capital flow and joint capability building rather than the UAE simply writing and pouring in money into India. Now, the honest implication is that, well, plenty of this remains commitments and exploratory mandates rather than money already which has been spent. Now, whether the pace of actual capital deployment keeps up with the pace of announcements is actually the thing worth watching out for next. Which actually brings me to the question: when a sovereign wealth relationship shifts from trade numbers to shared economic indicators, is that a sign of genuine strategic alignment or just a more sophisticated way of describing the same capital flows? Please do let us know. What are your thoughts in the comments below? This, ladies and gentlemen, is Front Page by the AM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM.